Do you want to make your video stand out with eye-catching animations and professional end screens? In this video, I will show you how to create stunning video animations that keep your viewers engaged and end screens that boost watch time and subscribers. Whether you're a beginner or a pro, these tips will take your videos to the next level. So let's dive in, and I'll be making one of these videos I've shown you. Okay, I'll be making this one. So let's dive in and get started. For this, the application we're going to be using is Camtasia, and I'm using Camtasia 2023, and this is how the welcome screen looks like, as you can see. And then I click on new project. It's going to open up a new project workspace for me to work on. So now that Camtasia is open, this is how it opens on default, and of course you can also use it to record your screen. This is, in fact, this is the app I use to record this video. So this is where you click on the record button to record your screen. By the way, this is just the interface, so I'll go through it fast, and this is not going to be a full Camtasia tutorial. If you want to learn Camtasia, make sure you're subscribing, because I'll still make a full tutorial on this. While I will make a full tutorial on this video is so that it doesn't get extremely long, because this video is already long. So by this side, you're going to see the resources bar. This is your properties bar, and this is your timeline bar, while this is your display screen. So for the resources bar, you have the media bin, where you can select or add media. So you click import media to add media. You can add recordings, videos, audios, or pictures. These are the formats that you can add here. Over here, you have the favorites. These are the area where you keep all your favorited resources. And over here we have the library. The library here is Camtasia 2023. I can manage library, I can add, I can just all that. And in the library you have audio, visual, channel mix, and everything that you will need. Okay, probably not everything, but a lot of things that you will need to help your video creation go smoothly. And over here you have annotations. In annotations you have call outs and arrows, lines, and all that and all that and all that. Now over here we have the visual effects and filters, and over here we have the transitions. Okay, so over here we have the transitions, and if you want to collapse this bar, you just click on this. It's going to collapse it. You click on it again, it's going to open it back. Then over here you have the animations, and in animations this is where you create your keyframing and everything. I'll talk about keyframing shortly. And here you have behaviors. Here you have cursor effects or mouse effects, and over here you have, for more, you have audio effect, video, voice narration, and captions. Voice narration, not voice narration. Okay, voice narration. All right, so you have captions, audio, visual, and okay, you get the point. If you have a bigger screen, you will likely see everything, and you can also adjust this to your size or your preference. And now for the properties, if you press on this properties button, you can collapse it as well. So for you to have a full screen, you can collapse everything, and then you have a fuller screen. But let's bring them back. So I'll start from my media bin, and I will import the resources for the video I want to make. Now before I import the videos, I will look at everything I need to know in this video. So what do I need to create the end screen? So this first, I need a phone mockup with the picture of the pastor in it, and I also need icons. So social media icons are also important to make this video. I also need this kind of shape, and then this text, and there is a video at the background of him preaching, and also there are some lights. When you watch this video again, you're going to see that there are some lights around, something like this, all this kind of stuff. So we have some subtle effects showing up in the video, and I will be importing all I need now. So if you want to import, it's just easy. You can drag and drop. Of course, I don't have the exact social media icons, but that is not going to be a problem. I can just select these 5. Since there are 5 in that one, I can just select these 5. So drag and drop it there. It's going to put it in its own category. As you can see, it sees it as images. And for the videos, I'm also going to do that as well. I have this, I have this, and yeah, these are the videos I'm going to use for this, and it puts it in its own video category. And for the picture, I have for the phone, right, I have created this one for the phone. So when I open it, it's something like this. It's an iPhone 16. with the useless camera bump. Okay, sorry, the useless camera button. Okay, so that's what I need for this work. And now, as you can see, if you observed this video, it is in 9 by 16, so it's a horizontal, but our timeline is wide. This is very important for you so that you don't create a wide aspect ratio video when you should use your narrow aspect ratio. So you go to project settings. So first of all, you click on this place, you have the percentage of the view. You go to project settings, and in canvas dimensions you change to full HD 9 by 16. As you hover over them, you can see that they are changing on the screen. So you do that and apply. Now you have the same type of dimension that is used in that video. Then we start. Also, what we also need to notice is that there is a background song here. Although you don't need to add background musics to your end screen, the background music should be that of the full video, which will also be played through to the end screen. As you can, when I play this, you hear that there was a sound playing already in the background. You hear that there was a sound playing already in the background before we enter the end screen, and the sound continued to the last. But because we don't have a video coming before then, I'm just going to add the sound in this one. So I will close this down, and I have this particular sound which was created by Daniel Dosho. I don't know if I butchered that name or not. It's a video actually, but I can extract sound. I used the video purposely to show you how to extract sound from videos while you are working on Camtasia. Now onto the timelines. Let me reduce this small to increase the timeline space I have. Onto the timelines, you will have to align it and set it in a way that it will fit. The one on track 1 will be the one behind at the back of your video. The one on track 2 will be on top or in front of that. The one on track 3 will be in front of that, and so on. So as the track 1 is the lowest track here, the anything on this track 1 will be the last part of the video, not the last part, the how do I put it now, the one at the backest back. Oh god, English is not my native language. Okay, so I will use this as my background, and I want the video to just be 5 seconds, but unfortunately we have 14 seconds of this already playing, and I want it to be 5 seconds. So what do? I limit it to 5 seconds. I could just on the timeline scroll to like see 5 seconds, but that will waste me time. So I will just automatically put an image here. Images are on default set to 5 seconds to play on your Camtasia. So I'm just going to keep it, and once you get it close, it snaps to that whatever this is called. It snaps to this. So now that it is snapped to that, I can use this to zoom in and zoom out. I can click on this button to see everything on my timeline. So, and you can also use the control key and the scroll key on your keyboard to expand your zoom. So we are on 5 seconds now. I will split this area of the video. I don't need this area, but maybe let me start from somewhere in the middle to somewhere in the end. So I don't know why that is delaying, not responding. Awesome. In a public video. Okay, we are back, and I can drag this. What the hell, man? Okay, I can drag this, or even if I don't want to drag it, I could just click on this magnet key, and it's going to take anything that is going to just close up all the spaces. So when I click on it, it's going to close up all the spaces. And for any timeline that has the magnet activated, you're going to see these kind of arrows pointing towards this direction. You can also lock this timeline so that you don't move it at all, or you can turn off the visibility so that you don't see it at all. So now I can click on S or use the split option here to split this track, and then select this part and delete it away from the video because I don't need that. So now that is a 5-second video created. I can now get rid of this. I will bring it back later. And then I want to make this larger, so I will expand it. So you hold on the edges to expand. No matter where you hold it, it's going to expand it uniformly, or you can hold the control key and expand it to expand it from the center. I'll expand it and keep it this way. I want more of this to show. And our original video has the dark, it's kind of dark, so I will reduce the opacity of this to make it a little bit dark. So somewhere around here is fine, 20%. So let me keep that 20%. right around there is fine. And then I'm going to also add this one. This one, of course, is a landscape video, but I can rotate it using this. And since it's not it's just going to be the effect I will use for my light flares that we saw in the other video. I'm just going to keep it this way, rotate it, and I want to start from somewhere around here. Let's say somewhere around here. So I will split this one, select this part, delete it, and let me bring this to the first of the timeline. And then I'm going to get this. Let me expand to make sure I'm driving on 5 seconds, and I am. This is your timeline keyframes. By the way, I'm working with 30 frames per second, so I'll click on S again and delete this part. So I'm working with 30 frames per second, and we have our video ready. Okay, not ready yet, but now the next thing, because we still want to be seeing that other background, I'm going to be adding blending mode to this. And to get that, you go to visual effects, and this is blending mode. You put it, and it automatically has done something already because it adds a screen blending mode to it. You can also invert this. If that invert effect will show, it will show. But I don't want to use the screen. I want to use overlay or something else, except if the screen is actually better. I think I prefer the linear dodge light, and you can also reduce the intensity of the blending mode, which will in turn affect the opacity of the video. Or you can go to the highest point of these properties and reduce the opacity of the video itself. So you can actually do both of them and you get a more subtle effect. So when I play this now, I'll play it in the end, so let me not delay you much, but as you can see, there's something going on in the screen up there. Next step is what? The phone. So we have the phone. As you can see, these are in front of the phone. So I'll put the phone right now, and I'm going to go to my media bin, and where is the phone? This is the phone. Drag and drop the phone into the area. Let's just leave it for now this way. I will resize it to maybe this size. I don't know exactly the size it is on that other screen, but I think this is a good size. And then next is distance. Now I will create just one. Since all their effects are the same, let's play that. I will create just one and multiply it and change the details. Why I need to just create one is that is where the whole animations will be and all that. Remember, I told you I'll talk about keyframe, so we'll be getting to that. Make sure you're still watching the video till now. And in Photoshop, I'll be creating the rectangular bars, so I will use this to create it. I hope this lines up well, and zoom in to curve the edges. So I have the edges curved, and there is a white line on, so I'm going to duplicate this and reduce the size. So we have something like this, and that, press the enter key. Of course you can't see anything now, but I will add a stroke to this one. So this is going to be a white stroke with some pixels to it, maybe 3 pixels. I don't know, 3 is usually good. All right, so we have something like this, and I will turn off the color of this one. No, not white, just no color at all. And then I will give this one a gradient color. So double click on this to open the gradient, and the gradient, I'm going to be using a color similar to that one, and I think it should be in purples. I'll go with a color like this. It's not going to be exact, but I will try to make it as close as possible. So something like this, and scale up. I think I should add some extra colors here. So over here I'm going to add more purple or red or blue. I don't know, what do you think? And I will push it to this point. I think I should go with just linear. This is better. I think this will work. It's not exactly as I want it, and I wish I could get a better combination, or I should just maybe just choose one out of here. Okay, yeah, I'm going with this. No questions. Case settled. I'm going with this. So yeah, okay, and I've created my shape. So this is going to be my shape. I think I need to also make this a little bit bigger. So let's see, 5 pixels, if that will work. All right, 5 pixels is perfect for me, and I'll select both, group it, and export it, and I will see you in Camtasia. Now that we have imported into Camtasia, I'm just going to drag it and drop it over here, and yeah, this is good. I like it. I can resize it and keep it where I would like it to be. But before I get into this, I will first add the text, connect with I give this guy a name, so I will go to my favorites and add a text. Moreover, to add something to your timeline, you can just add it here. It's going to add it to the timeline and start it from where your timeline tracker is. This is what I call the timeline tracker. I hope that's what the name is. I'll keep this at the top. You can always zoom in. You can hold the shift, the space bar and pan, and I will write connect with Apostle. This man looks like a, I don't know. Moreover, this is an AI generated image, so this is not a real human being in case you are thinking otherwise. So this man looks like a, let me say Apostle Kennedy. Okay, let me use Joseph. Apostle Joseph Sunday. Now, Joseph Sunday is a friend of mine. Joe, I used your name again for content. That's what friendship is. And I can use the alignment to change it to left align and use this to make it a bold text. So I'll connect with Apostle Joseph Sunday. Let me keep this at the top over here. And this one will move, ouch, not rotate. This one will move up a little bit, light up there. This one will be a little bit smaller as well. So we have this, connect with Apostle Joseph Sunday. And then for the social media handles, I'm gonna go with adding the Facebook first. But let me use this so that I can show you how you can change the color. And yeah, I want this to be on top of this while this goes below. So to do that, you can drag this track underneath. So this is now below, this is in front. And you can also right click to add a track, so you can insert track above or below the track that you clicked on. So in this case, I will take this telephone first and place it here, and that has not yet dropped. Place it here and it creates its own track. I will resize it, hold the control key or the command key if you're using a Mac. Yeah, MacBookers, I will not forget you guys again. Zoom in there, still hold your control key to resize it to fit in. And now to change the color, you go to visual effect and you have this color tint. You also have colorize and color adjustments. This you can adjust the color of whatever you want to adjust. But I'll use the color tint and I'll go to the dark tone because the work is for the dark tone. Light tone is if the image, the original color of the image was a light tone. Of course, this is black, so it's obviously a dark tone. I'll change this dark tone to white, and it's not totally white because the intensity and the desaturation is not there. So I can turn on the saturation, it doesn't change anything, so I will leave that there and just increase the intensity and it changes it to white. So we have this white now. That means you can change this to any color of your choice with the color tint. So that is a good one, Camtasia. Thank you so much. I don't know if this is available in older versions, but it's good that it is here. So for this, I will, obviously this is a phone number, so I will use a phone number for that, and I will also go to my favorite and add another text here so it stays in front of this, and I will add a phone number. So I will add 08123456789. So this is 11 digits. This is a Nigerian number. Please, this, I hope this is not a real phone number. So, but if someone calls you, say they saw your number on YouTube, it's just a coincidence. Thank you. So resize that. You can actually do this here, or you can go over here and change the scale as well. Now make that bold too. So Montserrat bold. If you want to change the font, you can click on here and it's going to bring out the font area, the font, what's it called now? It's going to bring out the font list for you to change it. So these are the font lists and it has all the fonts in your computer system. So this is going to serve as my base for the rest of the animation. I will leave this here for now and see if there is any other thing left before I start animation. And let's go to the video for reference and play it. So we have the phone, we have the connect with, we have the rest of this, and I think we are good to go. Also, what I noticed is that theirs was with capital letters here, so just to make everything all well, I will make mine capital letters as well, and I will reduce the size even further. So I'll go to here and reduce the scale to something like this. We'll have this here, and for these ones I will also equally reduce the scale. So now that's scattered. To do that, I can group it, and can I reduce the scale with group? Yes, I reduce the scale, something this way. After I can still ungroup it because I'm done with that. I will come back to grouping it later, but I've achieved the scale reduction altogether, and this is it. Now let's get into animation. First of all, I will animate the phone, and as you can see, when the video started, we started with the phone jumping up in this form. It's horizontally, it's vertically straight down, reached almost at the top, and then dropped to gradually sink and kind of slant away and bounced back a little before the end of the video. To have something like this, we are going to mimic this motion right now. To do that, select the phone, you go to the phone area, and you also find the point where it started. So it started at after the first frame of the video. It started like 2 frames after. So I'm going to move 2 frames after using the comma key or the full stop key or your comma key. You can move the frame back and forth. You can move this timeline tracker each frame back and forth. So I need to go to the second frame. So 1 and 2 to get to the second frame. Just that. I'm completely zoomed in now. So this is where it starts, and then I will add my custom animation. These are my keyframes. For my custom animation, it's going to start from here and end here, and the end part is let me make this fill up the screen or the timeline first. Let me just make this fill up the timeline. I can break these animations in the middle by, once I move this, the animation is broken and an animation is added. Ctrl Z to undo, of course, Ctrl Y to redo, of course. So for the beginning part, I want it to be straight, so I will zoom in, rotate it quite straight. Let me use this as a reference. All right, I think it is straight enough, and then I will take it down away from the screen completely. So somewhere around here is fine. And then it entered and got to the top area at about 2, 3, 4, okay, 5, 6, 7, 8. If 8th frame before it started dropping back again. We must not get it exactly, but I want you to understand how these frames and frames work. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So around here it's going to go to the top and then gradually drop. Now for keyframing, let me explain what keyframing does. Keyframing is points in your video where the motion starts and ends. Whatever happens in the middle is as a result of keyframing. As you can see, when I placed this image, it was at the top here, and because I've not adjusted this, when I go to this point, we see how it will end, and I can move this a little so it doesn't go away too far from the edge. Okay, let me just leave it at the edge there. We'll still change it later. And at the beginning, we have it out here. So what happens this whole area is when it comes in. When I play it, it comes in like this, and it eases in. It's when you right click here, you see enable ease in. It is in automatic, so it will automatically ease in. I recommend you leave it that way to have a smoother and more natural animation. So I want it to get to the topmost, so I will do it at around the 8th frame after this. So I will move that at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8, and I want it to get to the top frame or the top of this screen. Somewhere around here is fine, and then gradually bounce down. When it gets to this point, I want it to go down, kind of leave the screen a little bit, and then come back up again. And this time around, I want it to rotate even more. So rotate it this way and come out this way. So something like this is fine. And then I will stretch this. So for this one, I will take it to this end, take it to this end, bring this one to this end, and then I'll stretch it. Now, if there is nothing happening here, that means there is no keyframe here. So this motion can come here, pause, and then gradually start moving again. So if I play this video, it's going to go somehow like this. Okay, there was a pause here, and as you can see, this shot up really fast, so I don't need it to shoot up that fast. So I will elongate this a little. I will do my own to get here, or even elongate it more, and also elongate this one to get to the end, so that when I play this, I will have something like this. Let me play that. Okay, so you have that as your first animation. Now I will show you how I will get this, and then to make this video not to be extremely long, I will do the rest behind the scene. So first of all, we have next this animation, and in this video, when I play it, as you can see, the text is about to come out here, and this is also about to happen here as well. They are all coming out at the same time, and it spreads and comes together, and we have this, and then it gradually, looking at this, it gradually spreads more and gets bigger. while these ones are opening. So let's get to this one first. Where did it start? Let's see again. So after the phone dropped, around when the phone was at the top most, it appeared. So I will leave it. Okay, it appeared around here. Okay, it also appeared the same time the phone appeared. Alright, so I will adjust it to that, and then I'll add a motion blur. Go to the visual effects and add a motion blur to the text, and then I'll give it an animation. And for that animation, I will go to animations and add a custom animation to it, the same length as this, and I will spread it. So for this part, I'm going to let me make it a little bit longer. And for the beginning part, I recommend you leave the first frame of your keyframing to be somewhere within, let it not get to the extreme. If you want it to start from the extreme, you can do that later, but just keep it in the middle of your item, of your object. When you are done with the animation, you can now move it to wherever you want it to start. So for this, I'm going to spread this. Oh, I should have moved that. I'm going to spread this. I'm going to compress this. I'm going to spread it again. I'm going to move it this way, and you see that it kind of gave it that motion blur movement. It's not exactly what we got in the other one, but it sort of helps, right? It helps. Let me reduce this scale as well and go to the okay, yeah. So guys, my Camtasia crashed, but thank God it recovered. So I'm going to save this now so that it does not, I don't lose any important file. So Ctrl S and screens. Okay, it has been saved, and all right, so we have something like this. It's kind of flows away, bringing it back in, and yeah. So I will keep this here. I will make this to be a bit faster so that it does not get covered by the phone too much. Okay, on to the next. I will make this, I'll add another custom animation. I'll drag this to the end for this one, and I'll gradually expand it. So this expansion is fine. Move it this way. I can also add horizontal spacing as well. So let me add some horizontal spacing, just enough to keep it spaced out, but not going to create, yeah, something like this is fine. And then there is no horizontal spacing here, so let me make this even a little bit here. So something like this is good. And we have the full animation for this one. Let me take this to the end. Onto the next one. Now this is where I will create this as a benchmark. I'll copy it into one and I'll do the rest behind. So why am I yapping so much about this? Let me just get into work, right? So when we check this video, you can see that it started around here. So I don't know where that is. So when the phone was now dropping, this started, and I think I will also move this particular text to that point because I wouldn't want this phone to cover it. So I'll move this whole thing to start around here that the phone was dropping. So just first of all you reduce this one, then I move this one to around here. Let's see if the phone was dropping good. So I want it to start around here, so I'll move this over here and then move this one, and then I can also just make it to begin where it began. Okay, great. And let's make it more interesting. Let me elongate this motion a little bit more, and then when I play it, it's not going to be that smooth now because it has not rendered in the background, but we have something like this and it keeps on moving. Okay, now on to the next. Obviously I'm going to start this one here right now. So for these three, I'm cutting off these beginning parts using the split button S, the split shortcut key S. And then what will happen with this animation? This is how it's going to be like. First of all, this. Let's compress this to something smaller. And how do I do that? I'm going to first add rounded edges to this so that when I compress this, now compressing it, you hold the Alt key. When you hold the Alt key, you see that these borders change to blue. That means you can crop this away, and that's how it works. So I will first add a rounded border so that even though I'm cropping it, it's still going to have a rounded border. So I'm going to visual effects and I'm going to look for corner borders or rounded borders. I don't know what it is called here, corner bounding. This is it. So I'm going to add it to this, and the effect has been added to the shape, and I can now increase the radius. I'm just going to increase it to the point where it gets to the edge of, yeah, then I can now hold the Alt key, and as you can see, it is closing in. But before then, let's start with our animation. this is how we want the animation to end, right? Make sure that it is like that before you start. Then I'm going to stretch this. I'm not going to move, sorry. I'm going to stretch this and get to the end. Let me keep this way. And then I'm going to start from the beginning frame for the first keyframe, and I will hold the Alt key and compress it. If you hold the Alt and the Control key, it's not going to compress it on both ends, so don't bother doing that. Unfortunately, it won't give you any different results. I also do it for this one. I wish I could just add more reduce to these corners, but unfortunately it doesn't work that way. So this is how it starts, and how is it going to end? It's going to spread open this way and end. But before then, I want it to, okay, I'm coming back to this. Now for the telephone, I'm also going to add custom animation to it, and I'm going to start the animation the same place this one started, and at that beginning point, I'm going to move this guy to the middle here, and few seconds after, it's still going to stay in the middle, but this time around it's going to be big. So for the first frame, it's going to start small, so I will reduce the scale to 0 here, and then it's going to be big over here. For this one too, is going to start the same way, so let me also reduce this and reduce that. Sorry, not to reduce. Let me compress this, compress that again, and come over here, make it small so that it emerges. So it kind of emerges out with the phone and then spreads. Now take this to the end so that they spread at the same time. So now when I play it, it kind of goes this way and spreads. And then for the phone number, I will do the same repetitive process. So bring in the come over here, select this, and I'm going to first add this one. So I'm still going to compress this as well, but in this case I'm going to compress it to where the 0 is, and then move the 0 to this point. Compress it yet again. I'm going to move the 0 to this point. I think that's too much. Okay, so I'm going to leave it something like this, and for here I'm still going to make sure it remains compressed that way, and move it to this point in the center. And then I'm going to go back and start it to scale down and move it to this center as well. So we have something like this. It comes out and it gradually spreads open. I'll spread this to where this one ends. So we have something like this. It comes out and it gradually spreads open to reveal text. Now that this is done, let me complete the animations. So this will start at the beginning, at the beginning, at the beginning. Let me stretch it out a little, just around here, and around here. And then this one will of course also be made to meet it, and then I'll take these ones to the end of the frame. So right now we have our first basic animation for the rest. So when I zoom it back and I set this to fit, so it fits, and then I play it, it kind of starts this way, and animation not been selected, and it reveals itself. Now this revelation is too much. I think I overdid it, so I want it to finish revealing from around here, since this is the first one, because when we watch the video, as you can see, by the time the phone was already coming down, it was already done and the second one was about to start. So that's the kind of thing we want to achieve here. So I will take all this in and I will adjust it to fit in as it should. So I think this should go lower, and then this one should be complete at around here. So at around here, this should be complete. Okay, so we have this. Let me play that. Let me play it in full screen and detach canvas. Let's start from the beginning. Okay, great. Close that up, and we have our first animation. So now it is to multiply it to the rest, right? Let's get it going. Now this one is quite small. I'm going to make it big. That is not going to be a problem at all. So now I can group these, and it is now its own group. Let me increase the size a little so that it's quite sizable. I think this size is fine. And for this, I forgot something. This shape is actually a bit transparent. So to get to the group, you click on this plus, it opens up the group, and I will change the transparency. Now the problem is, if you change the transparency of this shape, it adds keyframes to it. So I'll reduce the opacity at the end. So let me just keep it at 75. It's fine. To judge that, I think, oh no, you're gonna see that. Yeah, so at 75 is fine. Oh cool, I love how the phone almost avoided it. But this is great, this is great. We are on the right path. And okay, now I know you've been waiting for me to show you the next. So how do I get the next? To duplicate this, just hold the control key and drag it down. When you then you can take your hand off the control key to reveal the lines. If you are holding the control key, you're not going to see all those lines, so take your hand off it and you reveal the lines. And yeah, I'm going to keep this one here, and I'm just simply going to edit the content inside. I want to change this, just this, so that it automatically still has all the animations. So I'm right clicking on this now and convert to placeholder. You will see this here, it kind of converts it to placeholder. I'm going to drag this one because this is one I want to use now, and just drop it here. When you drop it, it's going to get to a point where it automatically changes. Now it has changed. Just carefully make sure that it is at that point. When it changes, you see replace and replace. Replace replaces it. We already have this, and I'm just simply now going to change the text. So this will be a website. So www dot, and that's in capital letter, that's not allowed. Remember, our font size is 34, so .joson.com. I think this is fine, and it has dropped to 31, so I'm taking it back to 34. So we have that at 34. When you play this now, it goes something like this. And you see that that's exciting for me. So I will continue it, and let's just round it up, and I will see you when I'm done completely with all of them. Now I am done with that, but some escaped the timeline limit of 5 seconds, making it up to 8 seconds. So we have extra 3 seconds added to this, as you can see. So I will be correcting that, by the way. So let me take it. Okay, so for all this, I'm going to group this, and I will give it a general motion. I don't know if they did it here, but I want something that is going to look as if it is also moving. These ones are quite static. I don't want mine to be that way. I want them to move as this one is moving as well. So with all the groups selected, I will press Ctrl G, and I have deselected it. So with all the groups selected, Ctrl G groups it all up into one, and I will add a final keyframe to it to gradually expand it. So I will keep this at the end, and this is what I want it to be like at the end. That is too large, reduce it a little, and this works for me. So I'm going to take this at the end. So now when you play this video, let's see this. When you play this video from the start, let's view it in full screen. It's going to be something like this. Alright, now for the last part of this frame. As you can see, it cut out quite abruptly, which I don't want. I will give it a fade through black on this last part on the top group. Once you fade through black on the topmost time, or on the topmost item on the timeline, it fades everything out as well. So you see how smooth that was. Okay, so now we are done with that. Let's add our sound. I told you that I will show you how to separate the sound from the video. So I purposely used the video for this, and I already have the timeline tag of where I want the sound to be. Moreover, this is a 3 minutes sound, and we are not going to be using all that 3 minutes. So first, let me view everything, and I will go to around here. I want the sound to be around here. I want to pick this sound. This sound that you just heard, I want to pick it. Okay, now that it has faded out, I will have to listen to it till it fades out. Let me go a little bit further. At this point, I'll delete this part and I'll clear it out. And then where do I start it from? That won't matter now. Let me just cut out any part at all from here, and I'll clear this one as well. It's still too long for 5 seconds, as you can see. Let's bring this close. It's still about 23 seconds. That's large. So, but let me view the whole timeline first, and let me just take out this part. And then we have this. I'll push, let me turn this off. I'll push this to this point, and then I'll drag this to this beginning part. Now for the video, we have this sound. Forget about the video for now. Let's just pay attention to the sound. Okay, now how do I now take this video out? It's very simple. Right click, you'll see where you have the separate audio and video. When you do that, it's going to separate the video and the audio. So this is the audio. You can see when you click on it, you have this bar, and when you click on this, you don't have anything. So I'm going to, and when you select the audio, nothing is selected here in the timeline. When you select the video, it selects this video in the timeline, not timeline, in your canvas. So this is timeline, this is canvas. Delete that, and you can place this anywhere you want. You can place it at the beginning part or at the ending part. I like keeping my audio down, 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 but that's just my own preference. So it's just down, down there. And then our 5 seconds video is ready. Let's play it one more time and see how it looks. I think the audio ended quite fast. So I'm going to move that more. So I will move it a little bit this way. Let me add some extra. Add this, delete that, and let's see again. Great. This is exactly how I want it. So let's watch it on full screen. Alright, so we have our video ready. So this is it on our timeline. Let me make this a little bit shorter. And if you are not comfortable with just having just this, you can add the fade through black in all of them. And if you don't know where the fade through black is, because mine is in favorite already, you go to transitions, and in transitions you can search for fade through black here, or you can just go and keep scrolling. They're all arranged alphabetically. So we're in B, we are in C now, and we are still in C, we are in D, and we are in F. Fade through black. Fade just fades it gradually and enters into the next frame, while fade through black first puts a black fade before it gets into the next frame, and when there is no next frame, it just ends it on black. And to add this to multiple timelines or multiple items, just select all of them and drop it there. You can then adjust. And if you mistakenly see that as you're adding it, let me show you something quickly. Let me get rid of this and show you something real quick. So let's say you want to add this, and you see that it is showing you on the two sides of the item. It is because you are in the middle. If you go close to this side, the other guy goes. Go close to this side, the other guy goes. And if you want to put it on an existing transition, it's going to have red on it, telling you that if you place this, it's going to delete that one on red. And if you want to delete it and you still want to place it, you can go to the other end and that red disappears. That means the transition is just going to be on one end. So that is how this works. And if you had another clip here, it is going to automatically put the transition in that one as well. Let me show you something as of what I mean. Let's just say I kept this clip here and I delete this one and I go to the fade through black. Let me just find it here. And once I put it, it's going to put it on both of them. Even if I keep it this way, it's going to put it on both of them. I can only choose to, okay, I don't want it on both of them, I want it on only one, by separating this guy out. Let me turn this off, and now it is out. I can delete this, or yeah. So that is how it works. And of course this is sound, so no need to put any fade transition into it, so it fades out. And that is our video. Let's play it one more time and see. So with the touch canvas, and okay, so that is it, and close this part. And then to export this work that you've just done now, you go to export over here and look at this. This is just the best option for me, and the name is already there because it is the name of the work, but you can always change the name. I don't like touching any other thing here. The setting is exactly as I want it to be, but you can pause this video and look at this setting to see how you can set your own and export. So when you're exporting, it starts rendering and it collapses the whole of Camtasia itself to render. You can do any other thing on your system if your system is strong enough to carry it, but I recommend you just leave your computer alone to finish this work. When it is done, it's going to open back Camtasia and tell you that it is done. Automatically, it will show you this dialog box where you can open, view, or close. You close the dialog box, but to open file location, you click on this, you open the file location, and you have this video. Now we can play it freely. And this is it. As you can see, it is smoother here. So let's play that again. It is smoother and it is sharper. So that is our video. Close that, and I would like you, and I would recommend that you watch this video over and over again so that you understand the rudiments of making video animations and end screen in Camtasia 2023, or any Camtasia that you're using, by the way. Or actually, no matter the software you're using for your video editing, once you understand keyframing, you can do a lot with it. Every software has its own unique traits, but keyframe is the king of all video animations, both cartoons, normal video animations, text animations, whatsoever. Keyframe is the king of every video animation. Even if you're animating in Photoshop or CapCut, keyframe is important. And it is only in Camtasia that I've seen keyframe like this. In other applications, keyframe are usually symbolized by a diamond shaped icon. It's kind of a diamond shaped icon. You can see that in CapCut, you can see that in Filmora, and I think Premiere Pro also has a diamond shape or a dot, either a diamond shape or a dot in Premiere Pro. But keyframe, mastering keyframe is just all you need to know when you are doing your video animation. And depending on the software you're using, you can also have some extra advantages to how you can animate your stuff. And with that, we've come to the end of this video. If you enjoyed the video, please do well to like, share, and subscribe if you've not subscribed. And I will see you in the next one. There will be a full tutorial on Camtasia coming next, and I will also be editing the pictures I posted last time using the Capture One and Premiere Pro. So if you are interested in photography, do well to watch this video to learn how to work faster and edit better with Capture One and Photo Mechanic. And if you're interested in video animation, please do well to subscribe, and I'll be showing you all these things in this channel. So thanks for watching, and I will see you in the next one. Goodbye.
Badass.